In this final video, I want to talk to you about Google Classroom and the reflection papers you're going to have to write. Now, these reflection papers are important. They do add up to 20% of your score. And just like the homework assignments, there are almost every semester someone decides that they do not want to do the reflection papers, and it really is to your peril. You could do very, very well on the exams, not do any reflection papers, and barely pass the course. And quite frankly, it's an easy thing to do as long as you've got the time to do it. So an online class generally has to have, you would generally see an online class having a discussion board. And I've just decided that discussion boards are generally not very effective because basically everyone does it at the last minute, and I don't reply fast enough, and no one gets anything out of it. So I've decided to use the alternative of I post a news article, you reflect upon it, write something, and then I reply back to you. And you can just complete the reflection papers on those due dates. And I just reply to you while I'm grading them. So to do this, I'm doing this through Google Classroom. It's really the easiest way for you to upload things and the easiest way for me to provide comments back. I know it does require you, if you've never used Google Classroom, to learn something slightly new again, but I promise you it's very easy to use, and many of you probably did use it in high school if you didn't graduate from high school that long ago. Okay, so to do this, I'm just going to sign out of all my accounts here. Okay, so essentially what I'm going to do is go into classroom.google.com. Okay, once I'm in classroom.google.com, if I'm not already logged into Google in one way or another, I will need to do that. So you would need to log in through your hawaii.edu account. That's the only one that will work. Okay. And for me, it's going to show up with all the courses that I have. But yours is going to be blank, probably. And you're going to start off by clicking the plus sign. And you're going to say that you're going to join a class. Let me just go to what our class is to get the code that I need. Now, like I said, you're going to log into classroom.google.com, and this page is probably going to be blank. You're going to click plus, and you're going to click join a class, and you're going to put in this code. This code also appears in the syllabus. It also appears in the instructions for the reflection papers. It is RE3F5EX. That's RE3F5EX. You would click join, and then it's going to confirm that it's this class. Econ 130, Principles of Micro, Summer 2020, Session 1. It's going to have me. Now, the way that this is organized should look roughly similar to what I'm seeing here. But basically, you're going to have, we have 8 topics, and there are 8 topics here. The very first one, actually, I just have you doing an introduction of yourself. Now, I do, what does a reflection paper basically consist of? Is that I am posting an article. Let's just go to demand and supply here. You'll see that I post an article here as a PDF, and I give you some instructions here. And I'm seeing this as if I'm the instructor, but basically you can either post things as a PDF, type things in directly, type it into Google Docs. It's all linked together. It pretty much takes anything that you can type in. And the structure that this has, so what I did here is I include a structure that it should have and a sample. Let's just look at the instructions here first. Basically, it's going to be about a page to a page and a half, and it's going to be 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, I want you to summarize the article for me. Don't spend too long on it, but about a third of the paper, and it's about a third of the points. Summarize the article. Then for a paragraph, or basically a third of the paper, you are going to connect the topics in the article to the topics you learned, concepts you learned in that chapter, in that topic. And then in the final paragraph, you're basically going to share your own thoughts. Did you find it interesting? How is it affecting your life? Can you identify something similar? Kind of go with however you want to go. That's about a third of the points. And quite honestly, that last paragraph, although it might be the easiest, it's actually really what determines A's from B's from C's on the on these reflection papers. And especially with like so the very first one, you're just introducing yourself, so that you don't have to follow that structure here. You're just introducing yourself. It's actually due on May 31st, so it's due right away. But you're only going to have one due before the first exam. That will give me a chance to give you comments about how to do it better or worse. Well, not how to do it worse, how to do it better, so that you can then improve on it through the remaining 6 topics. Okay, so that's how you do the reflection papers. They're worth 20% total, so do not neglect to do these. They are important. I know it requires that you use classroom.google.com, but I promise you it's really easy to use. And I mean, together, the homework assignment and the reflection papers count as much as an exam. So that is how important it is. Sorry, one last thing here before I pause it. I do include a sample. Don't think that you have to follow in length or exactly how this person writes or anything. I just thought it was a good way of describing it. I did take the person's name off. You should probably include your own name, but it's not essential. Okay.